I've actually not been in that much over the last month. I've sort of had some time away from it, see family and friends away from cricket. But just the last sort of week or so, yeah, it's been really good to see some of the guys. I think I was expecting a call whether I was in or not around that time. I was actually having a team curry. I think it was during one of the games here. I remember got the call, went outside, and they sort of said it's being announced in a couple of days, so keep it quiet, and came back in, and Rip said, "Oh, was that the call?" And sort of said, "Yeah, that was it." And he ended up telling everyone, and everyone knew, so we had to keep it quiet for a couple of days. But yeah, it was a really special moment. The teammates were amazing, which was a little bit of a surprise. Watching the guys on TV, you go from watching them to being in their dressing room. So it was different to how I expected, because at the end of the day, they're just normal blokes, and they were really welcoming. And through my time away, it was very helpful to speak to lots of the guys who have had experience. It was nice to be selected for the one-day stuff, which is tough over there in their conditions. They are very good out there. But yeah, batting three, obviously Root wasn't there, which was nice to get the spot that I've been playing in all year. And it was important for me. I mean, I had a couple of weeks away from it before that series, but it was just to try and remember what I've done this summer, play to my strengths. And yeah, it was nice to score a few runs, but I think looking back at it, you change those 50s into 100s, and that's what win your side's games. I mean, I got the 50 odd in the last game in Bangladesh, which was nice. But I knew playing in India was going to be extremely tough against those guys. I mean, I think the one thing I did find was, the step up is you've got to be right on it from ball one, as opposed to, at times in county cricket you can, get a bit of luck and get away, and then you're sort of away. And also, there's not necessarily a slight weakness in any attack in international cricket. Every bowler that's coming at you is there for a reason, and you can't really just take down one of the bowlers, like potentially, and sometimes you can in county cricket. But the main thing out there was just the conditions. I mean, it's so different. Facing world-class spinners in their conditions was really tough. It was clear that I had a few technical issues against off-spin. So, coming back and moving forward, I can always improve. Even if it's in England when it's not turning as much, I can always get better at playing against spin. I think the main thing I learned is it was very tough out there, and I think the media side of things brings it out in you, and I haven't really had to handle that before. So it was, at times very tough, and you start believing everything that you're reading, which was the hardest thing that I found. And I think moving forward, or if someone else was in my position, as hard as it is, you've got to try and forget about what people are saying about you, because at the end of the day, you've been picked for a reason, and you've got to remember that. You can't start believing what people are saying about you. And at times I went into net sessions and was frustrated. I might play fairly well in that net, but I'd be so hard on myself, which I always am, because I always want to try and be my best. But the main thing I would say is you have to remember why you're there and how you were selected, and sort of forget. You're going to have times where you're going to struggle, but you've got to remember how you got there and why you've performed well in the summer before. During the summer, I think people sometimes forget I got a lot of low scores, but when I did get in and got a big score, it was potentially match winning. I mean, I got 3 low scores in India, 3 or 4, which was not ideal. But yeah, I mean, I've tried not to look into it too much now I'm back, because this summer I'm not going to be playing in India against world-class spinners. It's going to be very different, so it's going to be about remembering what I did last summer. But next time I go out to India, play in Sri Lanka, all those countries, it's remembering what I did wrong, what I could do better when I next go out there. I think for me now, I'm sort of in a position where I was in just before I got selected for England. So for me, I mean, I'm not going to try and feel any pressure. I'm going to just play the way that I've played. Cricket's a funny old game. You can get good and bad decisions, and if the luck's with you, it can be a lot easier. But for me personally, yeah, obviously playing in the Pakistan Super League is going to be amazing with some experienced players, so I can try and pick their brains and see what they've done throughout their career. But yeah, exactly. I think the North, East, South and the Lions stuff could be very important for me in that 50-over competition, just to try and score as many runs as I can, which I've said all of last summer. My only aim is to just try and score runs, try and win games, and yeah, exactly, try and get my name back in the hat. I've got aims to play all formats for England, as I'm sure a lot of guys do. At the moment, I mean, there's no Test cricket going on at the moment, so I mean, all I've got to do is start the season well here, and that try and score as many runs as I can comes into play again. But yeah, I would love to play Test cricket for England, especially with Tests in this summer. I'd love to experience a Test match in England with a packed house.